What's good, y'all? I'm gonna need you to hear me out, okay? I'm starting the video off addressing the typing first thing because it's weird. I know it's weird. It's frankly stupid. It's a stupid type change. I'm very self-aware. Please do not roast me in the comments, all right? I know it's dumb. The main reason I made this type change, I'll justify it in a second, and I'll talk about why it's awesome mechanically and all this fun stuff and how great and awesome these buffs are, because I really do want to talk about that. But I gotta address the typing. I gotta address the elephant in the room, okay? Before I even give any intro or anything. I want every single type combination to be used at least once in the hack. Reason being, when I was planning all of the non-ridiculous type changes in the hack, there was only about 4 type combinations that I needed to have every type combination in a game, maybe 5. I believe there was Ice Bug, Poison Steel, Poison Electric, Grass Fire, Ice Fire, and maybe one more I'm forgetting. Ice Poison, that was the last one. Those were like all the type combos I had unused. The rest of them all organically happened just, in fitting, or at least in my opinion, fitting type changes, okay? This is probably top 5 dumbest type changes in the hack in terms of logic. The logic is very loose. It is weird. It's a weird type change. I know, all right? I don't want comments saying it's weird because I know it's weird. Does that make it any better? I don't know. I think it does because I'm being very self-aware. This is a very self-indulgent ROM hack. And honestly, once I got to those 5 or 6 unused type combos, I ended up using 3 or 4 of those in very fitting, or at least in my opinion, very fitting changes. I found Pokemon that fit them. There's only about 2 or 3 that are really weird. One of them, also Poison Fairy, I forgot. Poison Fairy was another one. And all of these are going to be used at some point, by the way, so there's going to be some weird changes coming up. But overall, I'm actually happy with the ones I have planned for those. The weirdest one is Garbodor, and I can't spoil what Pokemon it is, but there's a couple other kind of weird ones out of those. But they're all actually really cool. This one's also really cool. Like, mechanically, it's very cool. It's a very good typing. I'll get into it, all right? But just hear me out, all right? Garbodor. I used to think it was yarn, by the way, on his body. I used to think this is yarn. It's not yarn. It's metal pipes. The G-Max form literally has like toys and shit, so that's a whole thing. But apparently this is not yarn. I don't know why I thought it was yarn. It looks like yarn, but it's apparently like metal piping. So he has metal. He essentially has like a metal skeleton, right? He's garbage. Metal. You throw out metal. Hear me out, okay? There is a little bit to it. I promise. The only other contender, by the way, for a Poison Steel type in the game was Nidoking, and that's like significantly worse than Poison Ground offensively, so I wasn't about to do that to my boy. I fucking love Nidoking. It's a good defensive typing. Offensively, it's not bad offensively, but it's not great. It's definitely not as good as Poison Ground. So that's why I didn't do Nidoking. All right, it's Garbodor. Was that a Nidoking or Garbodor? No, but holy shit, I can't speak. It's only Nidoking or Garbodor. Man, it's hard to say. Nobody else made sense. But yeah, metal piping. This little yarn stuff, as you can see on the screen, that is actually metal. I forget. There's like a name for it. It's like a piece of construction. It's like this weird coiled wire. So that is metal. He does have metal on him. And hear me out. Hear me out. In Sword and Shield, he learns Metal Claw at level 1. And Autotomize. So, oh shit, I'm making myself laugh, yo. So there you go. Metal Claw equals Steel type. It's dumb, all right? I acknowledge that, but it's cool. And weakness-wise, it actually doesn't really change that much, other than giving him incredible resistances and a 4 times weakness to ground, because he does have access to Heat Proof. Heat Proof. Honestly, once I did the type change, I'm like, all right, everything else can be kind of weird too. He's garbage. He can learn a lot of weird moves. Garbage as in he is literally made of garbage. And then, like, that's why he gets weird stuff like Leech Seed and Liquidation and Hydro Pump. Like, I see him shooting that out of his tubes. I don't know. It's cool. He's garbage. He can learn a bunch of weird fucking moves. And he has a Steel type now, so of course he gets stuff like Flash Cannon, Mirror Shot. All these moves are buffed to change. Yeah, by the way, do not let this be your first impression of my work. First impression, pun not intended. Don't let it be your first impression. If it is, go check out my other videos. Go check out the Google Sheet down below. Moves are all buffed and changed. 600 plus custom move changes, as well as 130 plus custom brand new, like custom made moves in this hack. You should definitely give those a look. You can see what all those do in the description below. I just wanted to get the type addressed, okay? Mechanically, it's a great typing. Oh my god, it's 4 times weak to ground. It's unusable. Literally, some of the best Pokemon in the game have 4 times weaknesses. Heatran is a great defensive Pokemon that has 4 times weakness to ground. That doesn't mean it's bad, alright? If you look at Poison Steel, you have incredible resistances. You have almost the same resistances that a pure Steel type has, but you get a 4 times resist to Grass Fairy and Bug. Bug doesn't seem that good, but it's actually very good to be 4 times resistant to Bug in this hack, because fighting Ghost and Fairy no longer resist Bug. And bug moves in general are a lot more common and they're a lot stronger. A lot of very, very, very powerful bug types and bug moves in this hack, especially first impression is very common. So resisting that is great. The bug resistance is huge. And then of course you have all those regular resistances that steel type has. You're neutral to fighting, which is cool, instead of weak to fighting. So you lose the fighting weakness. You gain a 4 times weakness to ground, and with heat proof, you are no longer weak to fire. You are neutral to fire. So it's great. Poison steel with heat proof, beautiful. Very, very good. The only weakness you have is a 4 times weakness to ground with heat proof. And of course, weak armor is a very situational ability. I considered a bunch of other abilities. I considered corrosion. I considered a couple others, but I ended up settling on weak armor because I like it for offensive sets. I actually tailored his base speed to be 44 specifically, so that way after one weak armor boost with the neutral speed nature, you outspeed, I believe it was base 120 speed plus speed nature Pokemon. So you'll outspeed all those Pokemon on a speed tier guide after one weak armor boost. Assuming you have max IVs, of course, which you might not. But it's a pretty good speed tier for weak armor because in game, that's all you need. It's like Draft League. It's not like competitive 6v6 where this would be a joke. This would be like a meme set, weak armor, and competitive. But this is not competitive. You can tailor your movesets. You have infinite usability capsules, so you can switch from heat proof to weak armor. Not to mention, heat proof is not always going to be useful. But yeah, weak armor is very cool. You can also use that with weakness policy or nasty plot. He has an incredible offensive move pool with great coverage moves, so that's awesome. Very, very cool. Weak armor is very fun. You can definitely get some sweeps going with that if you are smart about it, especially with weakness policy. Utility-wise, he's a beautiful Pokemon. Again, he's very, very bulky now. He's got that 112 HP because he's a giant hunk of garbage. He's got great defenses, 102, 102, and then 95 offenses. Very, very, solid, strong, tanky Pokemon. Great typing. Like I said, Heat Proof is really cool. Great move pool. Leech Seed is a little bit weird, but honestly, he already learned stuff like Seed Bomb, and I think he might be the only non-grass type in the game in this hack to get Leech Seed, if I remember correctly. And I just think it's a cool option for him. It's very good on like the bulkier sets. And it's really good with Baneful Bunker and all this other cool stuff. You get Recover. You later on will get Strength Sap at 48. It's a little bit late, but you should have that for Nanu and onwards, and all of the Aether Foundation and all of Pony Island and the rest of the entire game. So Strength Sap is incredible. Acid Spray is great. That's -4 SPDF, 50 base power. Belch is really cool because you a special attack boost now, and you can actually use that indefinitely. So if you eat a berry and then switch in and then switch out later, and switch out then switch back in, you can keep belching throughout the game. That's pretty cool, and you can use that with healing boots. Stockpile would be pretty cool with Belch, like a citrus berry or something. Swallow is also buffed. It gives you its priority and it heals you by full HP. So you remove one stockpile boost to get full HP healing recovery. And it's priority, so it's like a max potion almost. That's pretty cool because healing items are disabled in this hack. I don't mention that much anymore. I felt like it goes without saying, but if it doesn't, yeah, you can't heal in this hack, right? No healing items. That's why healing moves are a lot more useful. Parting Shot, beautiful move on him. Slow, tanky Parting Shot is awesome. All kinds of other good utility as well. T-Wave, Toxic Thread, all these moves are buffed and changed. Clear Smog, Toxic Venom Drench, they're all buffed and changed for the most part. They're all super nice and cool to use. He does have priority in the form of Sludge Shot and First Impression, and Shockwave. The latter two being TM and tutor moves, while Sludge Shot is just a starting move, and that's of course your stab. I don't know why I said that so awkwardly. Yeah, and that goes really nicely with Nasty Plot and stuff. Steel type move wise, I already covered. He has Mirror Shot and Flash Cannon, which are 80 and 110 base power. Heavy Slam is pretty strong. Laceration. Also, he gets Cross Poison in Gen 8. Otherwise, I would think it's kind of weird because he doesn't look that sharp, but I guess he uses his arms to fucking chop. I don't know. He gets it in Gen 8, so as a TM. So I mean, there you go. And the main reason I did that was just so he could have Laceration, because he was very much lacking in Steel type moves despite being a Steel type. Wow, it's almost like Steel typing is a dumb typing for him to have. I know, all right, I know. It's cool. First, and then also I wanted every type combination. He was the only Pokemon that loosely fit the Poison Steel typing. I think it's cool. He does have metal on the body, okay? You gotta give me that much at least. It's not completely void of logic, all right? And it is a very good typing for sure. It's an awesome typing even, so that's really cool. And another major thing, it sets him apart from Swalot because the 3 pure poison types are all bulky. You got Weezing with Levitate and Flash Fire, and he has really good physical defense and solid special defense, and he's strong especially. Muck is a good mixed attacker, and he has very good mixed bulk, and he has Water Absorb and Gooey. So Muck is really good, and then Swalot doesn't have an immunity ability. So the other two set them apart by having immune to water / immune to fire or ground on Weezing and Muck. Swalot is just raw bulk, and he has metabolism and corrosion. So if Garbodor was a pure poison type, like what? He would have heat proof. That's fucking bootleg Weezing. worse Wheezing, and then his stats would be kind of worse than Muck. So he's kind of in an awkward position. So that's another reason I chose to change his type, to make him not be a worse version of Swalot and Wheezing and Muck. So that's another big reason. Hopefully you listen to this one all the way through. This is one of the videos I would definitely recommend listening to all the way through. There's a bunch of other weird shit I'm not even really going to bother addressing because I think it kind of goes standard for this hack. If you've checked out the other buffs and changes for all the other Pokemon. Base stat total also, yeah, if you're new here, you're probably like a fucking mess to look at. Oh my god, 550 base stat total, Poison, Steel, Garbodor, what's going on? 550 base stat total is relatively standard. Standard for 3-stage Pokemon, semi-standard for 2-stage Pokemon. He needed the base stat total because I wanted him to be a mixed attacker and I still wanted him to be bulky. If he was 535, he'd probably have like only 92 defenses and then maybe 117 HP or something. So it would be, or something like that, or 97 defenses and then like -5 more speed, but then weak armor kind of sucks. So probably -5 HP, defense, and SpDef. So that's why it's 550 base total, because I wanted to be a little bit bulkier. Great Pokemon though, right? Great Pokemon. Great buffs and changes. Weird. Probably you could argue the weirdest change in the hack. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that, although I think stuff like Uxie might be a little bit more cursed, I'm not gonna lie. And they're all situational. Raikou is also up there for cursed type changes, but they're all cool. That's the one good thing. They're all really cool and they're all really good type changes. They're just kind of weird flavor-wise. They don't really fit that well. They fit, you know, I got my justifications for it, but it's still weird at the end of the day. So thank you for listening. Hopefully I've convinced you a little bit. Hopefully you can give me this one, all right? I wanted every type combo, all right? I was like 3 away. Can you blame me, really? Can you blame me? All right? You can't blame me, or you shouldn't blame me if you think I should have just left every type combo. I think it's cool to have every type combo in the game. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. I promise not all my changes are like this. If you are new here, check out my other stuff. Check out the description below. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. And peace out, guys.